Well, shocking story coming in from Samuel Lucas that Harry Kane has been made the primary target forward by Eric Ten Hag, but we are also not putting the deal of Napoli's Osimhen to a hold. It's also still in consideration, and I'm going to go ahead and really break it down according to how I've really perceived it. Welcome to the United News Show, and this is the United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner is the place to be. And guys, Rock and David is my name. We are talking David De Gea, the manager. Eric Ten Hag was disappointed about his ball distribution, and we've been told by the Times correspondent for Manchester United that David De Gea is working to improve, to see to it that he becomes United's #1 next season, amidst all news bubbling around Old Trafford that they might see him off the club and bring in a new striker. And then Antony has revealed to us that he's so much ready for the game of Southampton on Sunday. So guys, don't forget to subscribe. Let's see close to 200 likes on this video and really go ahead and really reciprocate the love. Now, we start off with Harry Kane. This story was dropped yesterday by Samuel Lucas, and he told us that Harry Kane is Eric Ten Hag's prime striker target to reinforce the Manchester United attack in the summer. So say Ten Hag is intent on signing Harry Kane as he approaches his final year of his contract. That is Samuel Lucas. And when you hear something like that coming in from Samuel Lucas, he's a United correspondent, meaning that he's being briefed in by the club, and the club knows exactly what they want. And you can't dispute or despise Harry Kane to Manchester United. I know we all believe that he's a very good striker, and we are having an agenda over his age. Being 30 and having a history of some bad injuries, we don't expect him to be really one of those players that really don't come into the club and really be injury-free. He's aging, and he's really one of those players that you would have liked to have at his prime, like 24, 25 years of age. Or if I told he was 27, I would have been so much pro bringing him at the club. But Ten Hag coming out and really making his prime target, and this story has been revealed by Samuel Lucas, a correspondent to Manchester United. It shows you that there is a huge interest for this player. But to me, I like Harry Kane. I'll never hide about my love for Harry Kane. And if at all he can keep himself fit, I would love to see him at the club. That's it. And if at all he keeps coming in through, I would 100%. And if at all he keeps himself fit, I would 100% allow him at the club. My difference, all my complaint, all my no is raised high because of how he has been injury prone back in the years. Secondly, can he really go 4 seasons scoring these goals? Can he really go 4 seasons? That's the most important bit of it, because the most important bit is getting in a striker who can really give us the goals. Not for 1 season, but for the rest of the seasons. And have you noticed that this story has been broken by Samuel Lucas after Eric Ten Hag met Sir Alex Ferguson? I believe Sir Alex Ferguson has a say in this. Why? Trust me, with the respect that Eric Ten Hag has for Sir Alex Ferguson, and with what Sir Alex Ferguson did for the club, and with the many trophies that United won under Sir Alex Ferguson, Eric Ten Hag won't say no to the advice of Sir Alex Ferguson. I think Ferguson has a hand in this. He's telling him, you want Victor Osimhen, right? Is your priority striker, right? He's not Premier League proven. He can come here and really flop. Or it might take him 1 or 2 seasons for him to really hit the ground running. But look at the points you are going to gather, because we might hit 80 points at the end of the season. When you look at the Premier League table, we are having we are having 49 points, and we are left with 13 games to go. 13 games, those are 39 points. Now, if we can gather 31, we would have hit 80 points. Now, they will ask Erik ten Hag that, do you know how many points you are far off from really winning the trophy? Ferguson will tell him, like 15 points. Because if at all you are having 95 points, you are into that bracket of really winning the title. And he will tell him, do you know that there are certain games you've lost or not won because you are lacking a striker? He will say 100% yes. Do you know that Marcus Rashford would have been scoring in goals with Harry Kane doing the same? Add 30 goals to the 30 Rashford is going to score this season. Don't you think you are into the title bracket? Ten Hag will say yes. Then you are 1 striker away from winning the trophy, and that striker should be Harry Kane. Why? He's Premier League proven, and secondly, he's easy to go ahead and get because he is left with just 1 year on his contract. And for that, I think it will go down well in the memory lane of Erik ten Hag, and I think that's why Ten Hag has gone ahead to say that let me go in for Harry Kane, and I think Sir Alex Ferguson has a factor in this. It might be a far-fetch, but 100% believe Sir Alex Ferguson really has a say in this, because he might have told him that he's a sublime piece of business to do. You are a striker away from winning the trophy. You are one midfielder away from winning the trophy. If you bring in a CDM and you bring in a striker like Harry Kane, Rashford playing in his best position, then you are going to put yourself in a better position of winning the trophy. And he's telling him, you are going to the Champions League. You need Harry Kane. Consider the love for England. Why? Those English fans and the English media will not go bad on Erik ten Hag if at all he signs in an English player. You know, there is a lot of bias that is going to hate to break that he's an LDV's manager. He cannot really coach the game of football very well. He has broken that. Everyone has admitted that Erik ten Hag is an elite manager. But him not signing an English player and benching the likes of Harry Maguire, not giving them an opportunity, you get? That is not going well into the English media, and they're really attacking him like that. So, if he signs an English player, he would have bought himself security in the media. Why? English media is never biased onto their players. They never go hard on them. That's it. They never go hard onto them. So what I think is that there are a lot of factors that are really advantageous to Erik ten Hag on bringing in Harry Kane than a Victor Osimhen. That's it. But the same man, Samuel Lucas, has not down or watered down the deal of Samuel Lucas to Manchester United. He has told us the following about the deal of Osimhen. That Erik ten Hag, Harry Kane is Erik ten Hag's prime striker target, reinforce the United attack force in the summer. So set ten Hag's intent. All right. Then where is Victor Osimhen? All right. He goes ahead to let us know that Napoli striker Victor Osimhen remains of interest to United, while Ten Hag is also an admirer of Benfica frontman Gonçalo Ramos and Mohamed Kudus of Ajax. So it looks like Ten Hag is making Harry Kane his prime target, but he has not really downplayed or watered down the signing of Victor Osimhen, and that reads down very well. He's talking about the Gonçalo Ramoses of this world. He's talking about Mohamed Kudus, you get? And that calls in for how much money are we going to be still having, or are we going to be having when we go into the summer transfer window. So if you are Erik ten Hag, you'd love to get these players in. One, Harry Kane, or Victor Osimhen, or Goncalo Ramos. And you know my stand. For me, I go Benjamin Sesko, or Goncalo Ramos. Victor Osimhen is my third choice. Harry Kane is my fourth choice. But for Erik ten Hag, it's his first choice, and we have to go ahead and be the backup manager because he has not signed a player that has come at United and flopped. Look at even Weghorst. Weghorst, a Burnley striker, has come in through and really put out a performance that people were slating him for, but has gone ahead to really show us that he's really a hard-working striker. He presses very well, and he has 5 goal involvements, 3 assists, and 2 goals this season. And I think he's going to score more goals because time is going to come when we are going to be rioting, like you saw us against Rio Betis, having 25 shots with 13 on target. So more goals expected from him. Now, looking at that performance, you'll know that if at all Harry Kane or Victor Osimhen or Goncalo Ramos is there, it will be okay. Now, Mohamed Kudus is another one that I really love to see at the club of Manchester United, but I think it boils down to a level of what Ten Hag wants and what he thinks about Mason Greenwood and what he thinks about Amad Diallo. Everything that Mohamed Kudus does, Amad Diallo does it. The difference is that Mohamed Kudus is really doing it at a certain level, like at the World Cup and at Ajax. You get? And Amad Diallo is doing it in the Championship, but one will argue out that maybe the Championship is at the same level as the Eredivisie. That's it, because you get Ajax and you put it into the Championship. I don't think they win as many games as they win in the Eredivisie, because the budget of some teams in the Championship is even better than the budget of Ajax. The way they spend money, you get? The competitiveness in the Championship is really better than the competitiveness in the Eredivisie. So to me, I cannot really put out that as a reason as to why Mohamed Kudus is better than Amad Diallo. To me, I believe Amad Diallo has a better skill set, has a better future, and I think he does everything that Mohamed Kudus does. So it's going to really be left for Erik ten Hag to see who he's really going to be bringing at the club of Manchester United, because it's peculiar to really say that Kudus has a better ceiling than Amad Diallo. To me, the skill set of Amad Diallo is really great. The way he takes off players, the way he cuts in. Amad Diallo is 20. Mohamed Kudus is what? 23 years of age. Can I get a little bit here of Mohamed Kudus? Kudus, what's your age? Kudus, what's your age? Kudus is 22 and Amad Diallo is 20. Amad Diallo is what? Amad Diallo is 20 years of age. And I think if you are Erik ten Hag, you would go all out and say you would love to find a player known as... you would love to give a player called Amad Diallo a chance. And he's known for giving such players a chance. With the budget that we're having that is going to be limited, I don't see us going in for Mohamed Kudus. That's it. Because we are having Greenwood. There is Amad Diallo. They can play well in those positions. Look at Pelestri and how he plays. If I were to go in for Mohamed Kudus, then that means you are bringing a player to compete with Antony. But in the central attack midfield area, if I totally bring in another midfielder, that means Eriksson will be battling it off with Bruno Fernandes in the central attacking midfield position. So I believe we are all full, according to me. We are full in those positions. So for Mohamed Kudus, there are a lot of question marks of him coming to Manchester United. That's it. But it is keeping on showing the media from credible journalists that are really under Manchester United that the manager is really in love of a player called Mohamed Kudus. So let's wait and see how that is going to go all out in Manchester United. Then we are having Erik ten Hag in the press conference that he held on Friday after the game of Rio Betis. De Gea had really some 2 howlers that he really made that could have costed us. And Ten Hag said the following on De Gea's ball distribution. He said, "I can't ignore it, but I think we've seen many games where he's done really well." That's it. We've seen those games where David has gone ahead to do really well, and I really love exactly what this man puts onto his play. But these glitches always happen. I've seen Alisson do that. I've seen Alisson do that close to three times this season. Then there is Kepa Zebalaga, Thibaut Courtois, and then Ederson Molares. I've seen him really do that in another style of sense. So to me, it doesn't really come out to be misjudged by the pundits. But to me, I believe this man is really doing a very wonderful job in the goalkeeping of Manchester United. You know, Rome was not built in one day, and we have all to admit that it's going to take time for David De Gea to really turn out into that ball distributing goalkeeper that we all want. You know, we are comparing him with other goalkeepers, but he deserves some bit of time to pan out into that goalkeeper we want. One, he's a very good shot stopper, and he's showing us that he's having glimpses of improvement in his ball distribution. Why don't we give him time? And even the reporter or the correspondent of Manchester United for the Times, known as Paul Hurst, has confirmed to us that David De Gea is working on his kicking as he seeks to improve to Eric Ten Hag that he can remain Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper next season. And let's be factual. He has shown lots of improvements. As Eric Ten Hag has told us here, that we've seen many games where he's done it really well, and meaning that it's just perfection that is lacking in his game. And I think the first time he puts out a bad pass, it was a very horrible back pass from Diego Dallo. That's why he puts in a pass like that. But I see lots of potential in David De Gea, and I'm backing him to be United's #1 next season. Because you can't tell me that the reason as to why we are not playing in very well as a team of Manchester United is because of the ball distribution of David De Gea. I don't buy that. I don't buy that narrative. I don't buy that narrative at all. Never am I going to buy that narrative that we are not building well from the back because of David De Gea. That's a lie. The fact is, this team has not seen itself sink deep into the playing style of Eric Ten Hag. That's the reason. And every time they really give that ball back to David De Gea, 90% he puts out a perfect pass. You get? So, to me, I believe David De Gea is being slated because the English feel like if at all we slate him, when he makes a mistake, Dean Henderson is going to come in, right? So let's wait and see how the manager is really going to go ahead and really do the needful as far as this game of football is concerned. Lastly, as we talk about the Sunday game, Antony having scored a very beautiful goal against a side called Rio Betis, reviving himself after that diabolical display at Anfield. He has gone ahead and really said the following about the Sunday clash. He said, "We think about Sunday at Southampton, which is a great game too, and I have no doubt that they will pack it again. They will bring the fuel that we need to keep on winning streaks." So, as it stands, Antony is fired up for the Sunday game. Obviously, I know he's going to start. I know Ten Hag is going to start him. He's going to start him, and I think he's going to play on very well. Amid his Pelestri coming in through and really putting in a very good display, I think the manager is going to play a player called Antony. So, thank you very much for watching through. Your thoughts on Ten Hag making Harry Kane his prime striker all-forward target in the summer. Victor Osimhen is also into the move. So, what are your thoughts about this? David De Gea, ball distribution being judged that way in a way he really hates. I don't know what you think about it. And lastly, what do you think about Antony saying that they are ready for Southampton at Old Trafford and they want to give them a beating of their lives? By the way, Liverpool has conceded a goal against Bournemouth and 30 minutes played. 60 minutes left. That's an hour. Let's wait and see how that unfolds at the end of the game. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. See you later, my lovely.